we are going to discuss is assert decrement. Okay, so assert decrement is coming under the class of two cycle assertion. Look at here, two cycle assertion, right? Okay, here what are all the parameters are there? Severity level and property type, message coverage level. Four are the basic thing. Extra things we have added here is width and value, right? Okay, now look at the syntax. We have what we are having. We are having assert decrement, that module name, then parameter overriding things, and then instance name for that module, and the port list. In that port list, what are things we are having? Clock, reset, and text expression. Text expression indicates what expression that should be decremented by value whenever it value changes from the rising edge of the clock to the next rising edge of the clock. Getting this one? Yeah, expression that should decrement by value whenever its value changes from the rising the rising edge of the clock to the next rising edge of the clock. Okay, so here we added two more extra parameters, right? Value, this is a value it should do. Okay, if you are mentioning 2, it should decrement 2. By default, what is the value of this one? Value 1. Next, width is what? The width of the test expression argument should be, by default it should be 1. Now we'll discuss the example. Okay, now look at here what's happening. First, ovl error. These are all some default compiler directives, right? Compiler directive parameters. So ovl tick error, or yeah, then ovl assert error, cover all, everything is okay. Now look at here, only these two things are in a value is it should decrement by 1 and width is 4. Okay, now this is our count. Okay, it ensures that the programmable count variable only decrements by 1. If count wraps, the assertion fails because the change is not a binary decrement. Okay, and assert decrement, all these things, right? Next we are going to see about assert even parity. Okay, so here this is coming under the class of single cycle assertion. And what are the different parameters in this? Several severity level, width, parameter type, message, coverage level. These extra things are what? Only the new parameter width. We know that width means width indicates the width of the text expression. By default it will have the value of 1. Okay, now we have to look at that text expression. That text expression that should evaluate to a value with even parity on the rising edge of the clock. Getting this one? Expression that should evaluate to a value when even parity on the rising edge of the clock edge. Yeah, we'll see example. Now during that time you will be more clear. Look at there. Before that we'll see the description of this assertion. What it will do? An assertion checker checks the expression, test expression, at each rising edge of the clock. Okay, then to verify the expression evaluates to the value that has even parity. Yeah, suppose if you are having 4-bit value, in that how many ones are there? If it is a number of ones in that expression is even, then it's not a problem. Otherwise it will give you assertion failure. Okay, your value has even parity if it is 0, or if the number of bits set to 1, if it is an even. Okay, now look at here. here width of the text expression is 8. Okay, now the data is next assertion monitor checker is assert FIFO index. This is coming under which clause? You look at here, n cycle assertion. Okay, here we are having some extra parameters. What are all those extra parameters? We have to mention the depth, pulse width, and push width, pop width, then simultaneous push and pop. Okay,
Can you tell me what is that push and what is that pop?
push means you are writing the data. Okay, pop means you are reading the data. Okay, now look at here. Here the syntax is same, the module name, then if you want to override the parameters you can override, and the instance name followed by the port list. Okay, that port list also we are having two extra things. What are all those two extra things? Push and pop. Okay, now we'll see the parameter descriptions. Severity level, property type, message, coverage level, leave those things. Those are all the as usual things. But here the extra thing is depth. Okay, depth means what? Maximum number of elements in the FIFO or a queue structure. This is normal FIFO depth definition. But look at there, the default parameter must be greater than 0. That's why the default value is 1. Second, push width. Okay,